Hello there and welcome to another channel review. In today's episode I will review the new Elikliv EM4K-AF Flex Digital Microscope. This device was selected by me to be the new channel microscope and has everything that I was looking in a microscope. So I'm pretty pumped to show you all the features in this wonderful device. This item was not sent by Elikliv. I got it in an AliExpress promotion for half of the previous price. I think it was on 11/11 or Black Friday, I don't know. And it will allow me to bring to a completely new level the teardowns and microscope footages. So bear with me, because during this video I will show you why. The purchase of this device to improve the recordings in the teardowns was only possible because of the sponsorship that the viewers like you do whenever they use the affiliate access links on the screen or in the video description to access AliExpress or Amazon to do your purchases. You will pay exactly the same, but will help me to maintain the channel and continue producing these videos. All the money earned is used always in the channel to improve the videos and to show you awesome products available. So without further ado, let's get this party started with the key features of this microscope. Allow me this small break to send kudos to this video sponsor, PCBWay. Being a leader in PCB fabrication, it is able to manufacture with very low price and in record time the PCBs for your project. Don't believe me? Just take a look. You get 10 PCBs double-sided for $5. It's hard to beat this. But that's not all. You can even create your project parts like custom case with their injection mold service or 3D printing, not to talk about their professional CNC machining service. It's a one-stop supplier for all your project needs, and if you use the code below on the screen, you will get a $5 discount on your first order. So today's unboxing will be a bit different because of the size of this box. It's pretty big to be on the desk, so I will try to open it. Let's see what we have inside. Yeah, and not throw anything to the ground. So we have this protective styrofoam, I don't know. For first, we have a user manual. Seems very good with image. Several language. Okay, let's put it here. We have some cable guide thingy. Let me take this out. It is very well packed. Okay, let me start with the microscope. We have the microscope in here. Also HDMI to mini HDMI cable, it seems. Yeah. USB Type A to Type C cable. And this seems to be a power supply. Okay, very nice. Also in here it's a cloth for cleaning the lenses probably, or the monitor. A remote. And let's take this out of the way. We have here the boom arm. Okay, let's put it here. A small cap to put on the top of the desk where the pole will join. And we have a very heavy desk mount adapter. I will not use this, I will show you what I will use. So we have this desk mount adapter. This is very sturdy, very strong and heavy. Very nice quality, okay. Also we have this light to be mounted on the microscope. This is connected directly to the power grid. I have another one here that I might use. Let me see if mine is USB powered. If it is, I might prefer to use it. Yeah, it is. I probably will use this one and I will show you why. But it is delivered with this light for the microscope. And you have also two adapters for the microscope. Let me show you. Okay, already lost one of these screws. And this one has 35 millimeters. And this one should have about 50, I believe, or 42. Okay. So we have two mounts for the microscope on the boom arm. Okay. And finally, not finally, I still have something below this. We have the boom pole. Okay. And finally, let me show you. We have this silicone base for working, and right now I will put everything on the table and continue from there for the first impressions. You have almost everything that was delivered on the table, only another microscope adapter, the 3.5 millimeters diameter. It's not here because I will not need it, but everything else is here. And I must say that this kit has a lot of quality and is very complete. We have a power supply, we have the cables already, a remote command, and even this holder, this mount, desk mount, has two positions. You can have different heights for mounting, and I will not use it, not because of the quality, obviously. I'm saying that it's pretty good, and it is. But because on my workbench it doesn't make much sense. I will not put it in here. That's the place that I can mount it, or in this place, something like that. Because a little more to the side it has cabinets, and in the end we have the wall, so it doesn't make much sense to use this one. I will not use also this top cap for assembly. I think it's like this. Let me see. No, it's like this, something like that. I don't know. I will not use this also, and why I will not use is because I will create a 3D holder or a 3D part to mount this pole. That 3D part will work on this leg of my shelf. So I will have the pole in this place and will allow me to work with the boom arm more or less to the middle of my workbench. That will be enough. And yeah, that's it in terms of the parts that are delivered. The boom arm seems very sturdy, very strong. It's heavy also. And the only thing that is not okay, I might say, it's not that the instructions are not okay. They are very clear, very well explained, but they are all in German. This is very well for the German friends that we have here in the channel, but for everyone else this is basically nothing. You can only see the pictures, but you will not understand anything of what is here. And I went to the website, and guess what? You have several manuals, but the 4K autofocus microscope is not there. So we don't have on the website an English manual, or any other manual for that matter, to download. So I don't have a user manual for this device. I already requested to the Elikliv support. Let's see if they send me in time of ending this video. But that's a pity. English is universal. We should always have English manuals. Okay, regarding the device itself, the microscope, I should say that believing in the specification, this is one of the best devices currently on the market for this kind of microscope, that we are not talking yet in a professional level, but I believe that any professional will be happy with this microscope. It has autofocus, a 10-inch screen. Well, we have a remote that you see it there, and also a touch thingy here to control, I don't know yet what. I believe that it's the light or something like that, but we will see in a moment. And also the touch controls in the lens part here. So I will show you all of it. We have light also near the lens, And one of the things that might be ridiculous, but if you understand that we normally put the cables like this in the microscope, the microscopes that I have here don't have indication of the ports in the back. So in the back we have an external USB port for output, the reset button, the USB Type-C for powering the microscope, a USB card, and the mini HDMI connector. And for me, this mini HDMI connector is gold, because you can connect directly to the PC with a video capture card and connect the image directly to the PC without having to put the card and taking the card out and everything else. Also, if you want to use an external monitor, you can, and you can still have a capture card and the monitor. You just need a HDMI splitter for that. Or, for example, my capture card has an in and out, you can use it. And that is very nice for if you want to capture the image that you have on the screen. The overall quality, the plastic, yeah, it's good enough. It's not the strongest plastic I've seen in here, but it seems good enough. The construction seems very well built. I don't have any problem with it. The buttons are a bit clicky, but you know for sure that you click the button without any problem. You have here the infrared. So in terms of first impressions, that's it. Now what I will do is create a mount for this pole to act as mount support for this pole and be installed in that leg of my shelf. And yeah, that's it. Let's get to work. So I have here the final result. This is the adapter that I created to mount on the leg of my shelf that has all my equipment. It will be fixed with these 6 screws. It already has a hole in the end, so I can use this screw that was delivered with it, yeah, and it will be fixed in this part. So let's start assembling. Before showing you the operation, let's start by removing the protective film. Let me start talking about the microscope, but I will start with the remote. It is delivered a remote, that's very nice news. We have the recording button, the camera button, and menu, side or right, left and right directions, okay, and to power it off. This is a very nice and with some quality remote. One thing that I have to say is that it's missing the autofocus button. One of the things that is really important for us is to be able to do the operations with the remote without touching the microscope, because it will normally have some wiggle, some vibration in the image, and the autofocus is very important here in the remote. I know that this remote is also used on another models that don't have autofocus, but it should be here anyway. Another thing is that we need visual path since this is operated by infrared. You have here the emitter and you have here the receiver of the infrared. And this is so last century. Nowadays we kind of use the wireless technology, and using a wireless technology like the 433 bandwidth frequency or any other that is more appropriate will allow us to have the remote on the bench and don't need to point it to the microscope to use it. That will be a huge improvement. So this is a suggestion to Elikliv to have first the autofocus button, and second to use this as radio, not as infrared. Another thing is that it's not powering up from the remote control. You have always to power it in this button. As you can see, we have the green light because it's connected to the power grid with the cable below on the back. And if you are charging, this will blink red and green. And if it is power off and it is charging, it will be red. So this is the device that we have. We have this progression bar. This is a touch button. It works really well, and one of the things that I am saying that it's details on this device is exactly this. If you need to press a button like this, you will have some vibration, as you can see on the screen. You will take the image out of the place, but with this touch button you are able to control the light, and this is the lens light. I have this extra ring light in here, but the lens itself has a light that you can control. And as you can see, I'm controlling the light without any vibration on the screen. It's a gentle touch only to make it happen, and it works pretty well. This is a very nice detail. And another detail that is pretty cool is they have a light indicating what is the percentage of power that you have on the lens light. So again, these guys take some attention to the details, and it shows. Really shows in the end product. The control of the lens, we have here the autofocus. Let me take something like this, and again, as you can see, I'm doing some pressure in here. It's not much, it's just a gentle touch, but it will create some vibration in the image, and that is something that can be avoided just by having the autofocus button in the menu, in the remote control. We have two programs, and I will show you that ahead in the video. We have those options that I showed you in the first impressions, and in the screen we have the indication. Let me grab my pointer. We have the indication that is right now in recording mode, megapixels for photos. We are recording in 4K with 30 frames per second and in autofocus mode. In here we have the battery in green, and with the indication that we are connected to the power grid, so it's not using the internal battery that it has, and the size of the card, the SD card, and how much it is free. This is the number of photos that you have in the card, or files, I'm not sure yet what. Okay, in terms of screen, that's it. Let's see in terms of operation and menus what we have. So entering the menu, and I will use the remote for that. Okay, this is the part where they can spend a little more time. The menu is quite primitive, it needs a bit of work. We have the first option, the playback, and this will allow you to access the SD card and to see what is recorded. This is some tests I made previously. For example, this is a 4-second video. If you press OK, you will be with it playing. It doesn't have anything because I was, well, stand still, just testing. And we have, I believe, some image here. This is move, this is movies. And maybe I don't have images, I think. Okay, anyway, so if you press menu again, it will give you two options. or you can go again to the microscope, or you have some options to do in this file. You can lock it, unlock it, and delete it. If you press return, it will go back to this same menu. So if you want to go back to the main function, you have to go to microscope. It will show you the image, and then if you want to go back to the menu, you have to activate it again. So the second menu in this is the image properties. For that you have the AE that can be auto or locked. In terms of auto, some of the options are great and they are not configured because they are controlled by the microscope, but if you do lock, you are able to use those properties like the exposure time, the gain, weight balance, and some other functions. Okay, I'm going to put in auto again, and let's see what else we have in here. We have also the autofocus manual mode. It can be auto or manual. The window processing, that can be average or point, and so on. You have the effects. Right now it's color. You can use it as black and white or negative. The WDR, and on the second page you have contrast, saturation, sharpness, horizontal mirroring, and the vertical flipping. So you are able to use these in different positions if you need. No worries about. You can, let me show you, for example, do a mirroring of the image. Oops. Yeah, and going back again, it's again in the same position. One thing that you don't see in the HDMI output is the menus or any other information on the screen. I'm showing you the HDMI output right now in the screen, and in that image this is a poor clean HDMI output. You don't have any information on there, and that is cool. It will be also cool if we have the option to put that information there, but okay, I prefer to have a clean HDMI than having the information. Okay, going again to the menu, let me, oops, this is quite confusing to use sometimes. I don't know if you noticed, but the position in the menu was the exactly last one that you used. So again, the settings menu, you can have the shortcut to photo, video, or split freeze. I don't know where is that shortcut key, to be honest. I don't see anything in the remote and also in the microscope a shortcut key, but you have that configured. You can configure the photo to 13 megapixels or 52 megapixels. That's what is by default. And the video can be recorded at 4K 30 frames per second or 1080 with 60 frames per second. I cannot see that option, that is blurred right now, but it doesn't matter. We can control the LCD bright. The auto off can go up to 5 minutes. We have several languages: English, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, Deutsch, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. Not bad at all. You can set the date, do a factory reset, and format the SD card. We have also the version, but I don't see in the website any firmware upgrade, so I don't know if this is upgradable or not. I received yesterday the user manual in English. The manufacturer sent me the user manual, but I didn't have the time yet to see it, so we will try to discover as we go. And the last one is it's a marking menu. This is quite cool. For example, let me show you. We can have, for example, on the screen a ruler, a cross ruler. It's the size of this cross is really big because the size of the pixels in it is really big, and this was a test that I made, and I think it has like it's not a bug, but something that is not working correctly. If you come here and select this line width, it should be saved if this option is not activated. For example, I changed right now and the cross is with only 1 pixel width. And you can change the color to black, white, green, blue, yellow or red. That is the default one. Again, you can have this, let me show you, you can have this ruler, or you can have also in the center just a cross. And when I say there is a bug in this, is something like this. Right now we have a line and a cross here. Well, this is not a bug because the cross is here, but the cross only appears if we have the line on, I believe. What happened? In terms of the shortcut that I talked about previously, and by accident I understood what is the shortcut. The shortcut is on the menu, the OK button. If you are in any position, the OK button will deploy some function. So right now, if you press OK or the record button, it will have the same action because it's configured here to start recording when you have the shortcut pressed. That is the OK on the normal screen. Going back to the marking screen, let me take this out of the screen. OK, I don't want anything in the screen right now. And also the line, you can put a line on the screen. Right now it should be very hard to see. That's why previously it was with a width of 8, so you will be able to see it. Yeah, you have here a line, and this line can have a different position, can be horizontal or vertical, and probably will allow you to align some, like the board, with some markings, so you have an indicator. Again, this line will not show in the HDMI output. It will not appear in the HDMI output. And yeah, let me take this out of the way also. And in terms of menus, that's it. Okay. Now, going back to the main screen, I want to show you how some of the operations are. You have the right and left keys on the screen and also on the remote. And if you press for example, the right, you will have this on the screen. This is an indicator of the zoom. It works pretty well. It is amazing because you have the notion of what is the zoom right now in terms of the progression. As you can see, the focus is really good. It's like half a second to 1 second to get in the focus. I didn't even needed to push the AF. So this is the focus that I have right now. I don't think you can see on the screen, but the lens, it's about 22 centimeters or 8 inches, I believe, for my North American friends. And at this height, this is the maximum ampliation that I can have. I'm not even using, we have some, let me see, we have some grain on the screen, but I'm not even using the light, the ring light. And yeah, every time I touch, let me take the zoom out so I can explain this to you. Okay. So there is a problem with this microscope. It's not with the microscope itself. Every time I touch here, for example, you can see vibration on the image. I'm showing you this on the HDMI recording, but also you can see on the screen. Every time I touch in the screen, we have vibration, and that is on me because I'm using 3D printed support for mounting this. I explained before why I did this. And I think I will need to do also a 3D printed support for holding the top of the pole, so it will prevent this kind of vibration. Well, we have a boom arm, so it will have always some vibration. But there is a big problem with this mount in the oscilloscope. As you can see, we have some wiggle, some movement in here that shouldn't happen. And this is not from the boom arm, it's not from the mount pole and the support that I've created. This happens for a very different reason. That is this mount for the that is this mount for the microscope in the back. And you can see from the side image that I'm showing right now that it has a huge gap. It's very loose, even with the screws totally screwed to the end and tightened, it will have a huge movement. And this is very sad. This is very sad because the problem it is on this part. It's not even in the equipment or the boom arm that has an awesome quality. Basically, this is badly machined, this part. And what happens is that it has some movement. Since this is mounted, it tends to increase the movement size or the movement range according to the length of the microscope. And in the bottom, you have a movement around 3 centimeters or 1 inch. That is a lot. And that can happen just by pressing some menu keys in here. You can take this out of the position. And to be honest, that is really, really sad because this is such a nice microscope. It has such nice functions that a detail like this that is not even related with the operation of the microscope can, give a very annoying feeling while working with it. So now let me talk a bit about the buttons that you have here on the lens. You have P1, P2, plus sign, AF and minus sign. So how does this work? You have on the screen AF in white. That means that the autofocus is working in an automatic mode. This means that if I move something in the screen without doing anything, he will automatically focus without needing to do any operation. We can change this by pressing a bit to manual focus. Now it is in manual focus, and if you see, it's not doing autofocus anymore. But this is very useful because sometimes where you are very near, you need to manually fine-tune the focus. As you can see, every time I'm doing a focus, it will become yellow in the screen while the operation is doing. So you have both systems, autofocus and manual focus, that you can use. Even when it is in autofocus, let me do this. For example, right now it does an autofocus, but it goes back to manual focus. Let me show you. You are in manual focus, but you want to do an autofocus. It will show you in yellow, and it will show a rectangle on the screen while doing it. Take a look. Yeah, and when it's green, it's focused. Okay, so, but it stays in manual focus anyway. So if you want to change to autofocus and be in autofocus or in reverse manual focus, you just need to press in autofocus button for a while. Okay, and this one has to be in white while operating. And right now it is already, let's see it, in autofocus. We have also the P1 and P2, and this is really, really cool. Okay, so how this will work is like this. Let's press P1 for a while to save the autofocus position. You can see that on the screen appears P1 and then becomes green, so it means that the position is there. If you press gently one time, it will show you in yellow and it will set the autofocus position like this. But if you do a long press, it will become green, saying that I saved the position. So let me pick this box. If I do something like this right now, I can save the autofocus position. Okay, let's do a manual. Automatic autofocus, it's there, and then I can, again, autofocus, and then let's do a long press, and that's it. So the P2, it's already on this position, but if I take this out and want to see the autofocus that I had before, it will be like this. If I put here, should be on, on position 2. Now if I take to position 1, okay, it will be focused again. And that might be useful if you have large components on your board. At the same time, you have smaller ones. I don't have a board with very large components, but I have this one that I can use. Let me show you. So in position 1, I will have this one focus. In position 2, I will have this one focus. As you can see, it's just giving a touch and you will have instantly the different focus positions on the screen. I hope that you can see it on the screen. Right now I'm showing this on the HDMI output so you can understand the difference. Okay, and that's it in terms of buttons and functionalities on the lens. Let's now talk a bit about autofocus. As you know, this microscope has the autofocus function and also manual focus. Regarding the autofocus, as you can see, the image is very well focused and it is automatically focused. I'm showing you on the screen the image that is recorded from the HDMI. For example, if I move, you can see that he does a correction. This is an Arduino. He does a little correction and that correction takes 2 seconds, that's true, because he has 2 moments in the correction, like this, 1, 2, but the focus is really fast. For example, I'm going to change the height that the Arduino is, okay? As you can see, it was almost immediately that he captured the image, then he focused a bit to make sure that the image is correct. I'm going down right now. Okay, you saw that the first adjustment is less than a second, it's like half a second, and then he, let's say it, fine-tune the image. Okay, it's always fine-tuning the image and going up. Yeah, we have an initial moment that is pretty fast, and then we have a fine-tune about it. So this is really amazing. It helps a lot while working, not having always to be adjusting the microscope. For example, we have an issue with the light, because the light being on top, it kind of makes hard to see what is on the chips sometimes. So we can tilt, and as you can see, he automatically adjusts the focus even with the tilted boards. For example, this one is a trick, because we have, you can see on the side image that we have a large inclination, and he is able to capture what is on the screen. So that is pretty amazing, I must say. Right now I'm with the light at full speed, full power, let's say, not speed obviously. If I diminish a bit like this, you can see on the side image that I don't have much light in here, just a little bit to reinforce the image, and he is able to give an amazing image of it. It is easy to read what is on the IC and all the details. And let's now zoom a bit. Let me use the remote. Okay. Okay, we are zooming, and he immediately captures the focus. Well, with this zoom, we should increase a bit the lightening. Yeah, so we don't have so much grain in the image, but you can see that it's a pretty good image. We can see all the details, all the dust in this IC. Okay. Yeah, pretty good job from Elikliv. It's a weird name, but it's a good device. Okay, let's move again to the larger view field. Okay, yeah. Again, the image that is recorded is amazing. This is 4K. What we are seeing, it's 1080 because the video it's encoded at 1080, but it's being recorded at 4K. I will now show you the recording directly from the microscope, not the HDMI. So what you are seeing now, it's being recorded directly on the microscope. Okay, let me, again, it focuses really fast. I don't even have to do anything. I have the focus button, but I don't need to use it. Let's see, for example, this text. Yeah. And obviously we can play with the light so we don't have this reflection. A little inclination on the board will also help. But for me, this is amazing. Okay, I think that's enough for autofocus and zoom. Let's move on. Let me now show you some boards. I have here the Arduino that we already saw. This is a distance from the board to the lens of 23 centimeters, 7 inch, 7 something I think. And again, if we want to zoom in, you can see how fast he will zoom in. This is the maximum at this distance. Obviously, I can decrease the size from the lens to the board and have more magnification. I don't need it. I think that this will be enough. If the autofocus doesn't focus immediately, we can press the autofocus. And if it still is not perfect, we can always manually adjust the focus anyway. Okay. So yeah, it seems okay. Okay, now some components. Let's see a blank board. I'm with this almost to the maximum in zoom. Now it is to the maximum. Okay, it did its thing and it's already zoomed. You can see all the details. Let me show you here in the camera the size of the board. The letters that we are seeing were these ones in here. So yeah. Okay, very nice. The resistors, where are the resistors? I think resistors should be here. And yeah, you can see all the details of the board with very nice image. Okay. And the components for this project that are delivered also with it. So the components that I'm talking about are this size. Okay, we can see immediately through the plastic what components are there with a very nice image. And I have here some, this should be 0402 or 06 something. Let's see what we have. They are small. Okay. It is not being able to autofocus. Now it captured. Yeah, it took a while, but it was able to go there. I don't know what components are those, but for example, now we can give a help manually to focus better or not. Okay, let's put this in the middle. Yeah, now it's in focus. Okay. And we still have some more here, small ones. This is resistors, I believe, yeah. Okay. Now let's see some ICs that I usually work with. This is a ULN 2803HE. The focus right now is at maximum, again 23 centimeters from the lens, and this should be around 7 inches for my American friends. You can see totally what we have inside the package. Normally I do some writing on the package, so I know what is there. It's ULN 2803. So this is a Arlington transistor array, as we can see by my writing. And what else do we have? I have a Max 485. Let's see, Max 485. Yeah, no doubts about it. We can see it clearly. This is the size of the IC. And also a Max 98357. This is 16 TKFN format, really small, but we can see also this is the size of the, yeah, let me see if I can show you. This is the size of the IC. Okay, that's it in terms of ICs. Let me now show you some coins. Now it's coin time. Let me show you some coins. I will start with this first one. This is a European coin, €1. It's a little bit dirty, but it's what it is. For those of you that don't know where Portugal is, this little strip in here is Portugal. We have Spain, Italy, France, Germany, UK on top, Ireland, Scotland, and so on. So this is the front of the euro. Let me show you the back. The euro coin in the back has the insignias from the country. So right now you have here written Portugal, and this coin is from 2002. So it has 23 years. Yeah, 23 years. Also from the European Union, we have here the 50 cent. Okay, this is the front and the back. This one is from Spain, hola hermanos, and it is from 2014. The magnification that you have on the screen is 0. I don't have any magnification, and the distance from the coin to the lens is 23 centimeters or 7 inches. You can see that it has a huge image quality in it. Okay, next I think I have something from the UK. This is from 2010. Okay, Queen Elizabeth II, and this is what, 50 pence. Okay, you have here celebration of the 100 years of girl guiding. Okay, so that's it. Let me take this out. And from one of my trips to the United States, we have here 5 cents. I am from a soccer club for the Americans and football for the rest of the world called Benfica. It's a Portuguese club. And on the logo we have exactly this sentence, in pluribus unum. And okay, and this is from 1993. Okay, very good. In God we trust. That's good. Very nice. You can see every time I move the coin, it will autofocus to give you the best focus possible. And it is quite fast to do that. Another coin also from my friends in the United States. This is from 2008. Okay, I don't know the president's names on the coins, so sorry, but that is too much common knowledge for me. 1 dime, United States, very nice quality again. And one last, also from the United States. What we have in here? Okay, 1 cent, GFM and LB, I don't know what this means, and United States of America. In the back we have Is this Lincoln? I don't know. In God We Trust, Liberty, 2015. Very nice. Enough of coins. Let me show you just 2 poker chips. Those, I don't play poker. I don't play anything, to be honest. And those were given to me on a Microsoft event where the Edge, it's the Edge or the internet, yeah, I believe it's when the Edge was launched. There was a Microsoft event here in Portugal that I attended, and they gave me that here. This is 20 euros chip. Let me put this real close to the lens. Let's see the focus. Yeah, we are like 5, maybe less centimeters from the lens, and yeah, less right now. Sometimes it takes a bit to focus, but here it is. And we have another one. Do you see from the distance of 5 centimeters to the 23 that the chip is now? It's really fast to get the focus on it. And this one is a 5 euros chip. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's move on. Talking a bit about the HDMI output, and you might think, well, I don't need an HDMI output. I don't do videos, I don't record the things I observe, so that's not for me. But almost everyone normally has one monitor or one TV at home that doesn't use or in the workshop. But just take a look at the image that you can have just by using a HDMI output and the quality. This has a huge quality. You can see it on the screen, what is being recorded by the HDMI, but also in this monitor here. So yeah, I don't take that as an excuse for not having an HDMI microscope. Just take a look in this. It's huge among us. You have all the information in there. And let me show you. I will record with my mobile so you can see what I'm talking about. And even if you want to share the screen, you can have this. For example, I'm using my Elgato HD 60S. This is a capture card. The signal enters in here. This is the power and to connect to the PC, and it's outputting to the monitor like this. So it's doing a pass-through signal of HDMI, and I'm also recording. That's the image that you have on the screen whenever I show you how is the output of the HDMI. It's done with this. But this is an expensive video capture card, but you can also use the simple version, the Cam Link, or even this $10 video capture card. This captures at 1080, I believe, and it's really cheap to buy. My HD 60 from Elgato has a pass-through video function, but if you buy this splitter like this, HDMI splitter, this one costs around 5 to 10 euros, something like that, and you have 2 outputs and 1 input, and you are able also to have this setup, let's say with $20 or 20 euros, around that. You will have the same setup with a monitor and a capture card if you need to. Even if you have also the output from the USB, and I will show you in a bit how that works with the PC connection chapter. Again, in terms of HDMI output, I think it's a great feature, and I should remind you again that we can have HDMI and the image on the screen at the same time, and that is very important because there are microscopes that have HDMI output, but when you are using it, you don't have the image on the screen, and that doesn't make sense to me. Finalize to say, and I said it before, that the HDMI output is clean. So if I put here the menu, you don't see the menu on the screen, but I have it here in the display of the microscope. When you connect the microscope USB cable to the computer, you will have the image as a USB camera. For testing, let's open the camera application. I have it here. And as you can see, this is the normal camera application from Windows, and we have already here our recording. Well, I'm not recording yet, but I can. Let's do it. And right now I'm recording what comes from the microscope. So this is pretty cool. No configuration required. You just need to put the USB cable directly to the computer, and you will be able to record what you have on the display of the microscope. Let's end it, and I have here the file that I recorded. As you can see, it has a bit lag, but not much. Yeah, a very nice quality in image, and I'm pretty satisfied with this. It seems very well. Okay, and I can show you here on the screen when you are connected directly to the computer. You have here a sentence that says USB UVC. Okay, it says that it's sharing this as a camera. Press OK to switch to MES-DC. So what this means is when you press OK, and you can see on the screen right now that the camera, over the camera, now we have a USB drive, and on that USB drive we have a folder with all the videos that we have created, and also a folder with all the image that we took while working. You can copy these files or move it. Let's, like this, I want to move it. Let me press Shift to move, and yeah, it's easy, it's fast, and it's done. So I think that's a very nice feature also. It works really well, no problems about it. While I'm in the mode of sharing USB drive, the screen, the display on the microscope, it's black, and you have also the sentence to press OK again to switch to image. And as you can see, let me show you, let's go back, the camera went away. This Microsoft camera application is very buggy. It is always giving errors and ending the application. But if you click OK again, we should be able to see the image. Yeah, it's here again. So this seems to work as expected. Really nice feature, love it. And yeah, let's conclude this. Let's get this wrapped, and starting as usual with the price. It is being sold on AliExpress official store for 219 euros, or more or less $225 at today's exchange rate. Considering the other offers in the market, I must say this is a non-brainer purchase. They are crushing the competition with this product. So allow me to do a recap of what you'll get for this price, and bear with me because it will be a long list. So obviously you will get a 10 inches display digital microscope. It comes with a remote, but that happens also in other brands, so nothing new here. It comes also with an external ring light, and I paid recently around 20 euros or 23 US dollars for my USB ring light. It comes also with a boom arm, and if you buy these isolated, it will cost you around 100 to 150 euros, so it will be something like $115 to $166. Not sure why, but they included also support mount for smaller microscopes. And this is what is delivered physically, but then you have also the features, so let me also mention them. It is battery operated and you can USB charge it. It has autofocus function that will focus in 99% of the cases in less of 2 seconds. It has HDMI output for connecting to an external monitor or capture card, and you can use it both functions at the same time. Some microscopes with HDMI output will disable the display when you are using the HDMI output. It has USB output. It works like a normal USB camera that you can use on your computer to record, or just use the computer screen as a bigger display. It will allow you to power the ring light using the USB 5 volts Power output on the back. Ah, that's right, did I mention it has autofocus? And for that matter, manual focus also. It has two customizable focusing presets. It has 52 megapixel resolution for photos and 4K for recording. And all of this for 219 euros or around $225. Tell me that this is not a non-brainer purchase. The price was previously around 500 euros, but they slashed it to less than half recently. I believe to gain market share, since I must say that I only saw Elikliv devices on AliExpress recently, about like 6 months. It is possible that I might missed them before, but when I saw it for the first time, immediately came to my radar and wish list. There is a stain in all the marvelous experience I had while reviewing this microscope, and it is really sad, because it's not related with the device itself or even with the boom arm, that, by the way, has an awesome quality. I'm talking about the problem with the microscope holder mount that connects to the boom arm, that is loose and wiggles a lot. This is something that might seem minor, and to be honest, it is almost minor. But it is really annoying while using it, because when it wiggles, the image moves on the screen more or less 3 centimeters or around 1 inch. And until now, this is something that I wasn't able to fix. Maybe I will have to use the holder of one of the other microscopes that I have in here to solve this issue. Another thing that I would like to mention, not really a problem but more likely a desirable feature, as mentioned in the video, is to have the autofocus button in the remote, or even the manual focus with also the P1 and P2. That will be really cool. It will be also good if the remote evolves from infrared to radio frequency operation, allowing us to have it on the bench. One last thing that I mentioned on the first impressions is that you have labels identifying the connectors on the back. This seems also minor, but it isn't. It's a so simple but important detail. Their slogan is all about the details, and I must say that you feel this when using this equipment. It shows that they really thought about it, and those small details do the difference, like the touch on the lens light, so you will not have to do pressure to increase or decrease the illumination of what you are observing and creating movement on the image. This wrap-up is already long. For those that say that I always have positive things to say, let me say that I choose things that I think will be good for me, but especially for you. My time is precious, as it is yours, and I try to review things that really worth it, and this is the case. It is a total winner product. They set the bar really high and the price really accessible. The competition will have to bring theirs A game to catch up with this. They have also the version with the stand, without the boom arm, and a little cheaper version without the autofocus, but keeping all the remaining features. As you can probably tell, even with the wiggles in the mount, the overall experience was fantastic, and if this is the microscope that you have been looking for, search no more. If you are buying, remember that if you like my videos and want also to sponsor the channel and the production of future videos, you just need to access the AliExpress or Amazon using the links on the screen or in the video description to do your purchases. You will not pay a cent more, but will help me maintain the channel and continue to produce these videos, and for all your support, a heartfelt thank you. And not costing a cent more is also your slap in the like button. And if you are new here or just didn't subscribe yet, hitting that like button will help you to be on the loop with awesome test equipment that hit the market, and every week I receive and review for you. That's it for today. Thank you for your time and watching this video. I hope to see you in my next one, but until then, take care.